retiring, Buchanan founded Problems, Solutions, Innovations, PSI, to teach CRV to civilians, and co-founded the International Remote Viewing Association. His book, The Seventh Sense, chronicles his work in the psychic spy program. Through his assigned witness program, he continues using CRV to assist in missing persons and law enforcement cases. Now, if you're not familiar with remote viewing is the process by which a person can put themselves into a relaxed state and remotely view any target anywhere at any time, regardless of how well hidden, regardless of how well protected. Remote viewing is able to penetrate all known forms of security, up to and including reading the numbers off of a piece of paper inside of an envelope, inside of a locked filing cabinet in a different building in another city on a different part of the world, right? Like, that's what remote viewing is. It's different than being psychic. It's different than telekinesis. It's kind of its own thing. The military and intelligence communities in the United States realized that this was an important area to study when they found out that the Soviets were doing it. And in the late 1970s and early 1980s, there was a project known as Stargate that was started by the Central Intelligence Agency. And if you want to look into this some more, you can go to, if you just search CIA Stargate online, you'll go eventually come to the CIA.gov website. And here you'll see this is an overview of the program, and it explains what Stargate is all about. This is a real program that was funded for years and then supposedly discontinued, but I don't think it was. They talk about shielded viewing. They put people inside Faraday cages and tried it. They've done everything to test this. Long distance remote viewing. I mean, you can see precognition. All this stuff is covered in this report. And if you want to know more about the history of all this, you can pick up Russell Targ's book, The Reality of ESP, A Physicist's Proof of Psychic Abilities by Russell Targ. And this basically breaks down the early days of the CIA Stargate program and the way that they arrived at or developed the CRV protocols, controlled remote viewing. This would have been Russell Targ and Hal Puthoff and Ingo Swann in the early days. And then there were other remote viewers who came into that program. One of them is Lyn Buchanan, and there are others, Joe McMoneagle. But Lyn is the one we're going to talk about today. So as part of this project to research remote viewing, I'm watching all of these interviews, and there was one in particular on Jeffrey Mishlub's channel, New Thinking Aloud, that totally blew my mind. I had seen this before. I'm going to share it with you now. It's a slightly older clip, but it's one of those little tidbits that you should see. It's kind of astonishing. Before I show you that, though, I'm going to show you another clip. This is also Lyn Buchanan from a different interview. He's going to explain what it's like, the remote viewing process for someone doing CRV. And we'll watch this, and then we'll come back, and then we'll go see the other clip.
There comes a point in controlled remote viewing. I don't know if this happens with natural psychics. When they say they bilocate, they describe it, and it's not the same. But in controlled remote viewing, there comes a time at a very high level when all of a sudden you can't tell you're not at the target. You feel the wind on your face, you feel the sun, you hear the sounds. You cannot tell that you're not really there. You're not really there. And it's not an out-of-body experience. Out of body, you can pass through walls and things like this. It's a virtual reality experience Like when you put the goggles on, that moment when you buy into it, it becomes real. And it's that moment in controlled remote viewing where you totally buy into it, and you're supposed to write everything down in controlled remote viewing. There's no table, there's no pen in your hand, there's no paper. You can't tell you're not at the site. And this has happened to me several times, and it's amazing. Mm-hmm. It really is. Ingo Swann said, "Never let a controlled remote viewer do that," because they quit reporting. Mm. And I lived for it. Uh-huh. It's great. Mm-hmm.
Ingo Swann, of course, is the Michael Jordan of remote viewing. He's like considered the Jedi Master of this whole field. And I found this description really perfect. I don't know about you guys, but if you've ever gone into a deep meditative state for a period of time and then found yourself as if you were someplace else, it feels like you're there. When he described it that way, it sounded very familiar to me. Like not sure if I've ever achieved that level of experience that he's talking about, but I've certainly had a glimpse of something like that in my own experience. So that's in a nutshell remote viewing. It's basically using your consciousness from location A to see what's going on in location B, and location B can be in the present, it can be in the future, it can be in the past. And the idea behind this is more or less that there is a comprehensive, totally complete field of information available at the quantum level. I don't pretend to understand all the details about how it works, but the information is all there. And because your brain is basically like a quantum computer in a sense, it can tap into this field. And with the right training and the right techniques, you can gather information about a target, and then that information can be brought back and put together. This is the key part, as part of a tableau of other types of intelligence to create a larger picture, right? So remote viewing by itself is not just someone sitting in a room, a psychic spy solving the case. It's sometimes many people, sometimes 5 or 10 different remote viewers, all working on the same target, unbeknownst to one another, completely double blind, recording their entire process along the way. And then all of that data gets input into a database. This is actually Lyn Buchanan's, one of his many contributions to the field, but this database approach where he would basically take all of the key data points from every remote viewer, put it into the database, and then he would be able to, using that database, figure out which remote viewers were really good at locations, or some remote viewers might be really good at faces, and others might be really good at numbers. And if you have the right team, right, just like any team, you can start to like build the team that has different people offsetting the weaknesses of other people, and you can build on their strengths, right? So this is kind of the concept. Now, why am I telling you all this? Well, for one, it's fascinating, and I think remote viewing is just one of the most interesting things that you could possibly study. They have proven that it's real. It's not a question of is it real or does it work. It works, and not only does it works remarkably well, and it's worked consistently for decades. And it's a tool that is regularly used by the military and intelligence communities to gather information. So when a remote viewer that's as good as Lyn Buchanan, a remote viewer that is as experienced as Lyn Buchanan, says what you're about to hear him say, it it's going to rock your world. Listen to this next clip. You're about to hear Lyn Buchanan talk about a something we've heard whispers of for a long time, is that there are non-humans that look human that walk among us. I know it sounds insane. I get it. It sounds totally bonkers. And it does. But for a number of years, going back into the 1960s, there have been whispers among people in the know that there are beings that look just like us at different levels of our society, interacting with us, steering events, doing something. Some kind of clandestine operation is taking place, and it involves non-humans that appear to be human and have abilities that we do not have. Now, some of the people who have said this, Robert Dean is one of them. He's a UFO investigator, researcher, and speaker. Years ago, Robert Bigelow has said this. I'm going to show you a clip from Bigelow. This is from a interview with CBS. Take a look at this clip. Here's Robert Bigelow talking about aliens walking among us. Check it out.
Do you believe in aliens?
I'm absolutely convinced. That's all there is to it.
Do you also believe that UFOs have come to Earth?
There has been and is an existing presence, an ET presence. And I spent millions and millions. I probably spent more as an individual than anybody else in the United States has ever spent on this subject.
Is it risky for you to say, in public that you believe in UFOs and aliens?
I don't care.
You don't worry that some people will say, did you hear that guy? He sounds like he's crazy.
I don't care.
Why not?
It's not going to make a difference. It's not going to change reality of what I know.
Do you imagine that in our space travels we will encounter other forms of intelligent life?
You don't have to go anywhere.
You can find it here.
Yeah.
You can find it right here. Now, who's Robert Bigelow? Google him. Google Robert Bigelow. But if you don't know, I'll just show you this. This is the side of his building in Las Vegas. This is his logo. Bigelow Aerospace makes modules, inflatable habitat modules. Robert Bigelow is a billionaire. He is the founder of this company. He's made his fortune in hotels, and he's also a complete space nerd and a complete UFO nerd. So when Robert Bigelow says something like this, it's really interesting. But now I want you to hear what Lyn Buchanan has to say about this very same topic. Check this out.
Whether you believe it or not, there are aliens on the Earth. Okay? And they're going to filter into society. We have learned a method to predict where the conflicts are going to be, where the cooperation is going to be, where there will be cooperation and all that. And we've already done this for some space research organizations.
Okay, pause. Now, what he says next is even crazier. But one of the best remote viewers in the world, who has a bulletproof track record, just said there are aliens already here on the Earth, and they are going to start filtering into our society. And that his team, his group, has already developed a technique to figure out where conflicts will arise. This is very, very interesting, but that's not all. Listen to what he says next, and this is really going to bake your noodle. Check it out.
One organization who is actively training astronauts right now. And we have taken trained remote viewers, tasked with the end destination of where they're planning to go to find out if there is life there that's intelligent. And the system they're going to has 7 planets. And on one of the planets, we found a moderate civilization, not advanced, but a moderate one. And we did the demographics to overlay it so that the astronauts can go there, know where the conflicts will be so that they don't make some stupid mistake and start an interplanetary war, And the State Department does this for diplomats.
Okay. We're gonna continue on for another minute, but just take a pause. So Lyn Buchanan's company contracts out their remote viewing services to other groups, individuals, organizations, basically they're for hire, right? They're like Ronin, samurai with no master. But they will remote view for you if you want to hire them to do it. And he's saying that his team has already worked with a corporate partner, a space exploration group that is training astronauts right now for an interplanetary exploration mission to another world in a system with 7 planets on which they have found, his remote viewers have already found that there is a civilization there, a moderately advanced civilization, and these explorers, this group from whatever this space exploration group is, are going there. That's the plan. But listen to what Jeffrey Mishlove asks next.
They have the area books. A diplomat is getting sent to a country. Hey, you study that country's demographics before you go there.
Well, I've always understood that this is the sort of thing that the CIA and the intelligence agencies do, sociological demographic analysis too.
Well, this is my background, and so, yeah.
I hadn't ever known that remote viewers were capable of doing something that abstract.
At the advanced level, yeah. Most of the training for remote viewing out there is training you to be psychic. The training for CRV trains you to do the controlled work that was done in the military, and you use it for applications for corporations, for police work, for medical work, and all this. But for the most advanced stuff, we have very few people in the civilian sector who have actually gone that far. The team that I have, the number of students that I have who have gone that far are actually less than about 10. Yeah. But you should see the work they do.
So they're functioning as both as remote viewers and as analysts, intelligence analysts, it would seem.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now I need to jump back because you talked about, it sounded like you were talking about interstellar space travel to visit other planets outside of our solar system.
There are those corporations who are very quietly doing that already. At least making plans for it, yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, and they need this information.
This is news to me because...
Well, and actually, if and when the aliens do filter into our society, our government needs it too.
Yeah.
They really do.
Well, and naturally there are rumors about aliens infiltrating our society going back to the 1950s.
Sure. Yeah.
Private groups are already preparing to go travel to other star systems that have life that they have found through the application of their controlled remote viewing techniques, and that these groups are training now to do this and making plans now to do this. And that's a separate stunner from the first thing he said, which is that there are also non-humans that appear to be human that are infiltrating or filtering into our society, and that they anticipate at some point in the near future, this will become well known, and that will kick off a period of turbulence between, I guess, normies and the hybrids or whatever, the non-humans. What does all that mean? What is that going to look like? Let me know in the comments. The future's going to be weird, no question about it. I want to know what you think about remote viewing. Do you think it's legit? Do you think that it's BS? I'd like to know what you think about Lyn's comments. And New Thinking Aloud. What great channel. Amazing interviews. You should go check it out. Subscribe. They do excellent work. And Jeffrey is just a fantastic interviewer. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And hey, if you really want to help us out, you can go to teamnightshift.com and pick up a cool piece of merch. We have awesome new gear, and I know you're going to love it. Thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Until then, keep looking up.